Be prepared for highly offensive language throughout and adult and sexual themes.
We are the show that is challenging you lot to maintain a positive and professional public image no matter what challenges come your way in the next hour. There's going to be no swearing, no bad language or bitching tonight, and you lot must remain positive and happy, upbeat at all times. Is that clear? We can definitely try. Anyway, what a show tonight. There were tears, there was tantrums, Sally's bunions. Oh, it's all been going on. Who would have thought they'd cause so much dramas in that house? Barbara, you got bunions as well? Oh, you got a couple of corns? Oh, darling, we'll sort them out for you. Don't worry about it. Just one lover. But it was nice, though, to hear Sally taking Hardeep's comments well tonight.
He's just a fucking prat.
No, that's not my words, Sally Morgan. She's got a gift. Coming up, last night he became our fourth evictee when he was booted out the house, but tonight he's making his bots come back. Jermaine is back in the building! We're going to have a bit of a post-match analysis, and I've got my banter notes at the ready. Also coming up tonight, she is the G to the O to the double D to the ARD. Trisha Goddard is back as well! Oh, yes! For a feature we like to call Trisha Tuesday, which was previously on a Thursday, but then moved to Wednesday, and it's now back on a Tuesday. How's your luck? But before we get to any of that, it is time to meet tonight's panel, and I've gone and bagged myself a right proper pair. Who needs Kim and Kanye when you can get a buy one, get one free on celebrity power couples at this moment in time? First up, this Essex duo know exactly what it's like having the cameras follow their every move, which is probably why they're here tonight, to be fair. Straight from the Hollywood, the Chigwell Hills, it's Towie's perfect pair, Georgia Cthulhu, Tony Merritt. Next up, they hooked up on Love Island. We booked them on bots, but we actually weren't too sure if they'd still be together. But it turns out they've remained loyal, babes. It's not like a love match, Georgia still on Tony. I'm loving this couples night on bots. I'm all for it. All right, let's crack on and talk about tonight's show. We saw Jermaine get kicked out in a surprise eviction. Georgia, let me come to you first. Are you surprised that it was Jermaine last night?
Not really.
No.
Although I like him, I just met him, so hi, you're right.
He's over there.
I know he's watching. No, but although I really like him stuff, I just think his time was up.
Yeah. Would you have preferred him to stay over Hardeep, or are you glad that Hardeep's still in?
Well, I prefer Jermaine as a person. Hardeep's annoying. I wouldn't be able to live with him, but he's entertaining. Yeah.
So you're glad for the show that Hardeep's
For show
staying?
purposes, I'm glad that Hardeep's in.
Hardeep did survive again, as we all know. Tommy, why do you think he's been so strong? I mean, they're calling him like the assassin in there at the moment.
Because he's winding everyone up, innit? That's what we want to see.
Do you want to see a wind-up?
Yeah.
You love it.
I'm a wind-up. I'm taking tips at the minute from him.
Now, listen, we've got another Georgia on the panel, but tonight, if you don't mind, George, I'm going to officially name you Loyal. Do you mind?
Surprise,
Right, so let's start it like this. Loyal. Is he the kiss of death when it comes to evictions? Because everyone he's been up against, he's bumped him off.
I know. I feel like he's getting away with it by the skin of his teeth, to be honest. Every single one, I'm thinking, oh, that's a bit of a shock.
Do you think it is a shock that he's still there?
A bit, yeah, like, definitely, because I think as public, we can see how he's annoying for the housemates, but like Georgia said, he is entertaining, so...
I mean, we are enjoying him at the minute. He's giving us little bits and bobs. His survival, though, seems to have upset quite a few of the housemates. Dan, Sally and Ryan weren't too pleased about his attitude. Sam, do you think Hardeep needs to be a bit more grateful? Because we did see him, and we've seen him over the past couple of weeks saying, you know, I'm not too bothered if I stay, if I go, and oh, I'm glad I have been stayed. I'm glad I have stayed and been saved, but, you know, I'm not too bothered if I was to go. Do you think he needs to be a bit more grateful? Like, then, you know, you're on Celebrity Big Brother. That's a big show.
I think he's taking it for granted a little bit, you know, like, he is annoying and, like, people are understanding that now, and he's still getting saved, and, like, everyone's saying, like, he's entertaining, and I don't feel like he's appreciating the public for keeping him in.
Yeah,
like,
you've always got to appreciate the public.
You've got to appreciate the public.
That's what you've got to do around here. He's saying he don't care whether he stays or goes. Do you think he does?
He definitely cares if he goes or not. He is in there to win 100%. Like,
You think he should? You don't think he does?
I don't. Hardy be so intelligent. He's been so much in life, and I don't think he cares whether he stays or not. Because at the end,
every time he's getting saved, he thinks he's loved even more.
You're right, Bob. You're right.
I have to swallow that.
I don't want to know what you get up to, Barbara, with your lovely brooch, all right? We'll leave it at that, please. God, you can tell she's arrived tonight. Things did kick off, though, between Hardeep and Sally in what we are now officially naming Bunyan Gate. Yeah, it's a thing, it is a thing. Sally wasn't happy when he mentioned her bunions. Let's have a little reminder.
About bunion.
I know, darling.
That's going to hurt, isn't it?
Well, it does, because I don't wear high heels a lot. Like, only on stage. What can you do? It's there. The only way I've got to have that knocked off. I mean, that's...
Can be done.
Yeah, but it's another 3-month thing in a boot.
Is it?
Yeah.
A bunion removal's
Yeah,
3
but
months?
it is, really, to heal. We can rebuild you. He wants me to get my bunion done now.
I didn't tell you to get your bunion done.
No, I know you never. But he said I have got a
I wouldn't
bunion.
change you. Not that I'd have any agency in that decision.
Getting on so well tonight, aren't you?
Oh, we know. We are. To Hardeep, everyone. To Hardeep.
Yes, Hardy.
Yes, Hardeep.
Woo! And to Jermaine.
Now, George, I want to ask you, do you think he was right to point out that she had bunions?
He winds me up. I thought, honestly, that is such a liberty. That is so rude. You don't just go around pointing out someone's bunion. That's so rude.
This is going to be the next big story, guys. I can sense it.
No, it's rude. And you know what? And it's embarrassing, like, in front of the other group as well. It's not like he was concerned. It was like, oh, what's happened to your foot? It was like, you've got a bunion. And everyone then spoke about it, and it's embarrassing for a woman. We don't like talking about our bunions. Everyone gets them.
Have you got bunions?
I think I have, yeah. I'm taking it to heart, all right? I'm going to check for bunions now.
It's a liberty, George has said.
It's a liberty.
Tom, I mean, he comes out with a lot of comments in this.
I'm scared to say anything,
I know,
mate.
I'm trying for you. You live with her. I need to ask, do you think he knows he is rubbing people up the wrong way? And is this part of what he's trying to do, do you think?
Yeah, he's looking for reaction all the time, isn't he?
You love it.
It's not nice saying that to a woman, obviously, but he knows why he's there, and he's playing on it, and everyone's biting to it. I'm not going to mention the bunions before you start, all right?
Oh, it's domestic already.
Change the subject, right?
Well, when Ryan actually found out what Hardeep had said to Sally, he decided to bring it up with him. Loyal, I'm going to come to you now. He's been in a lot of drama this week, Ryan. We all know what's there. We're going to stop talking about it now. It's been a big deal. We're over it. Do you think Ryan should have stayed out of this situation, or do you think he was right to say what he said?
Well, I think Sally really looked after Ryan, so I think... Yeah, I think it was his time to kind of look after Sally, definitely.
Well,
you treat others how you want to be treated at the end of the day.
He did say...
I'm loyal, babe.
You're loyal, babe. She's not one. Sam, he did say, you know, he wouldn't have anyone talk to his nan in that way. He'd be upset. Do you think he was right to wade in on it all?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, like, Sally's had Ryan's back. Ryan's a gent. Like, he's not one to, you know, hold back. He's going to go in there. He's a gentleman. He likes to look after the ladies, so I think he was right. And just like, you know, Loyal's not got any bunions, so all good.
She's all right. Loyal, she's all right. Well, as I said, this is going to be a big story. It is a breaking news story. It will develop, but I need to ask my audience, what do you guys think about Bunyan Gate? Right, what do we think? Am I sensing bunions?
Yes, you are.
Right.
It's a bunion, for God's sake. He's not talking about Sally's hemorrhoids.
No.
You know, if someone...
Can I just say, we cannot confirm nor deny if Sally does have hemorrhoids. We're not sure.
You ask
Posh Spice. She has them. We all know about Posh Spice's bunions. Does she care? No, she doesn't. It's a bunion, for God's sake. I wouldn't care if anybody talked about my bunions on national television.
Well, shall we talk about your bunion? Who thinks it was a liberty, as Georgia? So you think it's a liberty?
He did it purposely because they don't have a good friendship anyway. So he did it to dig her out. Simple as that. Yeah, absolutely. He knows, like Tommy said, he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
Exactly,
Tommy, do you think the... well, I want to talk about the letters from home. Letters from home task is always quite an emotional one, and it was an emotional one tonight as well. Do you think the right people got their letters tonight?
Yes.
All I can say is Ryan, at the minute, needs... I know Ryan very well, and he's so family-orientated, that would have meant the world to him. As you can see, he's crying over it. So, and he deserves it more than anyone. And Dan, also a friend of mine, he's a family man, he's got kids, and he loves his kids, so...
He has been finding it tough in there as well about the kids. We've seen him upset a lot.
Listen, I was so happy Ryan got it, so I think that that's the best thing that happened in there for him to get. He needed it.
Lyle, how did you feel when Sally decided to carry on?
I can't take this seriously.
All right, George, I'm going to have to call you George now. I'm going to say Georgia and George. How's that?
Oh, I don't know about this.
Oh, well, let's see. I mean, this could be the new Bunyan Gate. I'm just putting it out there.
No more drama.
How do you think Sally handled that situation? We all know she's got a gift, God bless. But, I mean, she did find them 3 red X's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She lost them letters. How do you think she handled it?
I was a bit surprised. I thought she'd come out there with all the letters because she's psychic.
Yeah, ofs.
But she didn't, so is she psychic? Who knows?
Oh, no, come on, she's got a gift, George. She has got a gift. Sam, were you surprised that so many of the housemates were actually as upset as they were that she'd lost them letters? I know letters from home's a big deal, but, you know, Sally herself said, you know, I thought of it as a team, you know, it's all for one and all of us or none of us and stuff like that. Were you quite surprised at their reaction to them not getting it?
A little bit. I mean, like, I can imagine how must it be like with you know, trying to get a letter from home and all that sort of stuff. I don't know whether you, like, do you be selfish in that situation and, like, you know, try
Well, we all remember Nicola McLean, shred, 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 didn't we? We all remember that. I mean, that will never go unnoticed. Let's talk about Dan quickly. Tom, I know you've just brought him up, but you used to obviously have worked with him over the years. You know him really well. We have seen him get upset about his kids. He's now got that letter from home. Do you think that's going to give him a bit of a boost in the house now? Because he has seemed... As much as he's had a good time in there, at times he has seemed quite solemn in there when it comes down to talking about his children.
I think it can be he's just lost Jermaine, innit, at the minute as well, so it's a bit funny with Danny. He'll either, like, raise him up or he'll go a bit low for a little while, but either way, he'll be fine. He'll be happy to hear from him, so...
George, what about you? Do you think he needed that?
Yeah, I like Dan. I think he's a good egg. Yeah, he's and I feel like he's just had a baby pop out. He needs to hear about her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah? Yeah, I mean, maybe I have as well. I don't... No, I haven't. I've just checked. I haven't. Listen, give it up for our couple panel tonight. I'm liking you. The future. He's a good copywriter. Right, that is your lot for now, but coming up, it appears that food is on everyone's mind, plus Jermaine is in the building, so we're going to be having a good kick-about with him, finding out all about the bants he's been having since he's left the house. Don't say the word. I'll see you straight after the break. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. We just love the latest celebrity endorsed trends at Bot. So, what do we think of the bid, guys? Do you like it? All right. Who has it better, me or Hardy? Yeah! Thanks, babe. But now, bad boy footballer, they're still in. Jermaine got shown the red card in last night's surprise eviction. He's had a good kickabout in the house, but as he spent his last 24 hours off of the pitch, it is time for his aftermath!
Should we crash the party? Celebrity Big Brother house, this is Emma. The fourth housemate to be evicted is Jermaine. We saw you say to her on many, many occasions how much you liked her.
Again, my favourite word, banter.
Yep.
It wasn't banter. Stop lying. You were trying to fuck her in the house. Shut up.
Oh, I can see people. I can see people. It's real.
Are you looking forward to seeing Jermaine?
I know how he's feeling right now. It's nuts.
So with the fun show, I know you've had your serious career now. It's funny questions. We're going to ask you to samba dance since you're the samba king.
Oh, Jesus.
He looked really startled by that interview tonight. How did you find it?
Yeah, well, I feel like he didn't really give me a good answer. Do you know what I mean?
Please give it up for your fourth victee. It's Jermaine! You've just come out of the house. It is crazy when you walk out.
Yeah.
But I do need to ask you the question. What's the thing with Chloe? Anything more than just banter in your eyes?
No, it wasn't, because I'm going home to my wife. Is this going on camera? I tell you what, it's crazy how it looks on the outside, isn't it? It can get flipped on its head, just like that. Tonight, turning on my phone. That's going to be amazing. Speaking to the loved ones. Hashtag I know why.
Hey, so you are?
Okay? This is my life right here. And I'm not turning it on. It's so peaceful. I had 1,100 messages. Are the one good? Nah, I'm joking. Got a lot of nice messages saying you've done well. And I got one from the missus saying don't come home. No, just... it's just banter.
Well, I'm pleased to say he did come back to us at least. Give it up for Jermaine, everyone! Now, Jermaine, before we go any further, last night's show, it was pretty tight. There was a lot to pack in last night. There was one thing I didn't ask you. I need to see a bit of that samba dancing. Can I have some music, please? Come on. I want to see a bit of this famous samba. Come on. Let's see it. Come on. Jermaine, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Strong moves, I've got to give you that. How was last night for you? You've had a little bit of time now to recover, you've had a little sleep. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling refreshed, feeling fantastic. I'm looking to go.
You ready to go? We're all good?
Ready to go home.
I need to... Well, talking about that, have you had any word from home? Have you managed to speak to anyone? Are we on any pages? This is a little...
No, it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good?
It's all good. It was hostile at first,
Yeah.
but I've apologised.
First of all, let me ask, just for all us girls, how is she? Is she all right?
She's fine. Obviously, she probably... It's not nice, because she's had a lot of messages and seeing what she's seen. She's probably a little bit embarrassed. But like I said, I've apologised and, you know, I've got to be a man and own up to it, you know. I probably flirted a bit too much, took the banter a bit too far, but that's about it.
But it's all good now.
It's all good now.
We're all right. Well, that's good to hear, as long as it's been sorted out. That's all we want to know. You've had some time now to reflect, and I know last night it was really crazy. It was a surprise eviction. You'd all have a few beverages at the party, and then all of a sudden you're hit with me and Emma. You've had a bit of time to reflect. Is there anything that you regret now in the house?
Absolutely, Jeff.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah, there is. I regret, you know, stepping the mark, stepping the line, and saying certain things to Chloe, certain actions, and I regret the banter.
You've come out now, and you did say, you know, when you were on the inside to Chloe, you know, we'll catch up on the outside, we'll sort it all out. Has there been any communication between the two of you
No,
yet?
because I'll see her on, what, in 5 days or 6 days?
A finale?
Finale night, so...
Well, that's going to be fun, isn't it? You drank up. Have your opinions changed on anyone since leaving the house? You've obviously caught up with your friends and family now. Has anyone said anything to you that's maybe thought, oh, maybe I've got that person wrong?
No. Like I said, I knew all of them in there. Got to bond with them, so you know, the nominations, everyone had to nominate someone.
Yeah.
And, you know, the reasons were not any personal reasons, not like they didn't like me or I got on anyone's nerves.
Which is nice.
You know, well, fantastic.
Yeah.
So it was the easy option regarding Chloe that I got nominated for, which is fair enough. And so, you know, there's no bad feelings at all.
OK, well, sadly, last night we did have to blow the final whistle before showing you your box bits, which I was a bit gutted about. You know, it takes a lot of people a lot of time to make your box bits, and we're never ones to get caught offside, and we know Jermaine loves a good shootout, so that's why we're taking it to extra time and penalties. Jermaine Pennant, it's time for your box bits!
Introducing our CBBFC Players Player, Jermaine Pennant.
Jermaine Pennant, do you want a cup of tea, Jermaine Pennant?
So what we're saying is a 5 o'clock kickoff.
Jermaine had a strong start to the season.
Jermaine has officially been pardoned.
Yay! That was good.
Whilst his control has been questioned recently,
Got it, still got it.
his movement off the ball remains impressive. Hold on, was that a deliberate handball? Yes, the replay shows that was a clear hand to ball. Oh, that was another one. A great club captain with a fan base of loyal supporters.
I wake up with a glory when I'm next to Jermaine.
I think that's taking it a little bit too far.
His time at CBBFC has been eventful.
You know, some off-the-field incidents.
Whilst his away game has been strong. There are doubts over his future performance in front of a home crowd.
Love your throat. Oh, thank you. So does your ex. She's going to ring it.
They think it's all over. It is now.
Well, guys, there's your box bits, Jermaine. What have we got to say?
Can I just get something out of there? Them kisses was spin the bottle and
we know.
It wasn't out of my own accord.
It wasn't just like casual in the night, like, oh, I'm going to kiss your thigh.
It was absolute banter.
And what was it? What was it, Jermaine? It's just banter. It's just banter. Guys, give it up for Jermaine, everyone. We're going to be chatting later on to him. But now it is time for tomorrow's headlines and today's Bots News. Yeah. Quiet down, please. Simmer down. Top stories tonight. Kirsty's feeling fried. Gabby and Dan fall out over cooking. And the housemates are getting out of a jam. First up at 10:44 this morning, Kirsty Alley was feeling gleeful over a fry-up. Run VT.
I have a British fryer, 'cause I'm so posh. I can eat anything because I'm so skinny.
What's a British fry consist of?
Oh, bacon and pork chops and sausage and beans, toast and eggs and everything. Oh, I'm so poshy.
Since when was a fry-up a posh thing? I'm not sure about you, Miss Ali, but I often indulge in some champagne and caviar in the morning. Then at 11 a.m, things were heating up between Gabby and Dan in the kitchen. Run VT.
Do you want to stick a fork in them?
No, you don't stick a fork in them.
I know how to cook.
Do you?
You want to get it to the inside as well.
That's it. Fuck it. I'm not doing it anymore.
Have you got a spoon for the beans or are you going to let them burn to the pan? They will burn to the pan. So if I
They're
could
not even on yet.
Put the damn beans on.
No, because nothing's ready.
We'll put them on low.
Oh my God. You know what? You can do it.
Am I joking?
I'm joking.
Me and you are going to fall out. Can you get off the kitchen?
What's going on there? The mushrooms?
Dan, go away.
I'm asking.
Oh my God.
Well, Dan, you know what they say about too many chefs in the kitchen. Looks like that's going to be eating away at his conscience for the next few... No, please, stop it. Finally, at 11:10 this morning, Dan's mind was getting a bit scrambled. Run VT.
We could make Italian meringues. Strawberry cracker would be lovely. So how do we feel about eating mess as a pudding?
I'm not bothered about pudding.
Have you ever had a strawberry sandwich?
Absolutely not.
No?
No.
Do you like strawberries?
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd want it in between bread.
Yeah. Looks like they've got themselves in a bit of a jam. On a side note, did you all see Kirstie Alley working that counter? Yes, girl, I enjoyed it. Now I'm joined by a very loyal Bots News superfan. Hello, madam. How happy are you to be here?
Oh, darling.
Thank you so much, madam. That's enough from you. And that was today's Celebrity Bots News. Goodbye. Coming up after the break, we've got a nominations exclusive for you. Plus, the Trisha Goddard is back in the building. Oh, yeah, she's going to be revealing how our celeb housemates have managed to weather the celebrity storm and survive this long in the series. We'll see you straight after this break. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's Bit on the Side, the show that can't get enough of celebrity endorsements. Have a little look at this.
Hi, you may not know me. I'm Jermaine Pennant, international footballer, man about town. And this is my new fragrance, Foreplay. Nothing attracts women like the smell of rotting sea life. Believe me, I should know. Many a night I've been batting off women with my fishing rod, thanks to Foreplay.
Foreplay, for players on and off the field.
When you're out to catch the best fish in the sea, use Foreplay, the fragrance for men who like to smell like an anchovy's arsehole.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Have a bit. Come on, wear it, babe. You wear it well. You can keep that, darling. I don't want it. Right, it is time for an exclusive, and the housemates have been nominating. Here is a little bit of what they had to get off their chests.
This is Big Brother. Would all housemates gather in the living room immediately? Today, Big Brother will be asking you for just one nomination.
Okay.
The housemate you nominate will automatically face the public vote.
My one nomination is...
Oh! So there you go. This week it is killer nominations. Every single housemate will get to make one nomination. Whoever receives one nomination at least will definitely face the public vote. So, Georgia, what are we making of that? Anyone who receives a nom this week will be up for eviction.
I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, isn't it brilliant?
I love it. I love it. It's like really like tense and scary now. It's like getting down to what, the last week?
Yeah.
So it's like this is crucial now.
Tom, there is less than a week left. I mean,
yeah, Monday.
Not everyone has faced eviction in that house. How do you think this one's going to play out?
I'm just thinking, is Hardeep going to go up again and get saved, man? That's all I think about.
Why break the habit of a series?
I don't know.
Do you think we're going to see anyone up there that we maybe haven't seen before?
Dan ain't been up, is he?
Dan hasn't been up, you're right.
Dan ain't been up.
Do you think he's at risk of getting a nomination this week?
No, I doubt it, man.
I don't think
You
I
don't?
think so. He seems quite, he's quite at home with everyone in there, isn't he? So
He is. George, what do you think?
I think he's a bit of a peacemaker, to be honest. I think he's nice, and I don't think anyone's got a problem with him. Why should they? He hasn't done anything wrong, has he? So...
True. Sam, do you think anyone needs to be worried?
Well, Hardeep don't ever seem to be worried. So that's not a problem. And he'll be up, and he'll be safe probably again.
Yeah,
Paul's in trouble.
You never know. Jermaine, let me come to you. If you were in there today and you were given one nomination, who would it be going to?
Hardeep.
It would have. Why?
Because he's getting on everyone's nerves. And on the other housemates you get along with. And I've banter with.
Ah, we had to get in there. What do you lot think? Who's in trouble this week, do we think? Go on, Luna. How are you, darling?
I think they might start playing a game, so I think
do?
that Ryan and Ryan might be up.
You think Ryan might be up?
Because, yes, if they're going to play the game as a game show...
Because obviously we're getting ever closer to
They've
final.
got to think who will be my biggest threat in the final, so...
Oh, we
so
could be
they-
going into a bit of game here. Anyone else? Come on, man.
I think maybe Psychic Sally, because she gets contaminated with Hardeep's rows.
So you think Sally could receive a nomination?
Possibly, yeah.
You think Sally? What else?
I think most of the housemates is going to put Hardeep up, but then I have to think about who will Hardeep put up.
True.
And
I
because
think that's
Ryan
what
confronted him, and he seemed a little bit angry about that, plus the chicken incident, Chicken Gate, I think it has to be Ryan
Do
for
we
Hardeep.
think? Who do we think Hardeep will go for this week? Who do we think?
Anyone who gets one nomination.
I think it will be quite, like, ironic if he puts...
Can I just say, I love the fact they're having a full-on conversation on the panel. This is how much people love this show. What can I say? We just love it. What was you going to say?
that if he puts Nick up, because I thought it was quite bad that Nick put him up and then was like his bestie.
So
I
you
was
think
like,
Hardeep potentially could put Nick up as well?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? We can find out. You've only got to wait until tomorrow to find out. But it has been a tough week in that house, with the housemates having to face storm after storm after storm. And with some of our younger celebs leaving and the older residents actually staying. There's only one person who can make sense of it all. It's time for this. Give up Patricia! I nearly died. Did you see me run? It's these long legs, I tell you. Looking beautiful as
Thank
ever.
you, darling.
First off, there is so much that has happened since we last spoke.
So much.
Obviously, we don't want to rehash old ground, but what have you been making of the whole, you know, last week's events?
Oh, wow. Loving it, loving it. So many incidents. We had the Jermaine... Well, first of all, we had the Natalie. Going right back, we had the whole Natalie thing. Then we had Jermaine and Chloe. I've got to say, Jermaine's Mrs. Alice, you got a good one there. I'll tell you why. Because if you ever want to kiss the inside of a guy's thigh or send him notes, Jermaine's going to understand because it's just banter.
Oh, Jermaine, Trisha's bringing sass here.
Absolutely, Jeff.
Bring her back, is this why we bring her back? You have to do it to me, don't you? You have to do it to me.
Then Rodrigo leaving, and then the whole Roxanne and Ryan thing. And just quickly, I'm just going to say one thing on Roxanne. People love a public hanging, but there's a time to stop. And I'd really appeal to everybody, not just the audiences here, but every newspaper editor. Enough is enough. The girl has suffered enough. She's her own worst enemy. Leave it alone. Walk away.
Well, we're done with it now on this show. We are completely done with it. It's lovely to have you back.
Thank you, darling.
A lot has changed in the house as well since you've last been here. Have you been enjoying sort of the drama over the last few days? Because it has literally been bam, 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 bam.
You can't even take a break to go to the loo, can you? 'Cause
Literally, you can't.
No, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I didn't think there would be as much action in the house, but there definitely has. I have to say, I love Hardeep because he's like that uncle you have that you don't know if you like them or you hate them, but they're always stirring it.
Do you like my outfit? I just got this because I thought you might say you liked Hardeep. Look, I've got my little Hardeep pack here. I like it. I like it. How do you think the house has handled the situation?
What, Guru? Lots of differences between the younger ones and the older ones. Of course, the older ones in life, when you get to my age or their age, you've weathered quite a few storms. I think it's really interesting. You've got Nick and Hardeep, who both have really fierce intelligence. Hardeep has got a big ego on him. Nick is the voice of reason. Then you've got Kirsty and Sally. I think they're really interesting. There's not been that much interaction between the two. They've both got very strong belief
They're both
systems.
quite matriarchs,
But
aren't
they've also,
they?
I don't know, because they've both got very strong belief systems. One thing that really I thought was very different, when it came to reading out the letters, when Kirsty read out the letter, Gabby's letter, she got really upset and what have you, and that was, you know, brought a tear to the eye. When Sally read out Ryan's letter, she got upset, but there was physical contact. And I think it's a difference between the Queen saying, "We are very sorry," and somebody next to you, your favourite auntie, going, "Go on, love, give us a hug." There's a difference between them.
You see the difference there?
I do.
There's something that has happened, and it's quite rare.
Take those
I'm
glasses
sorry,
off.
I was so comfortable with it. I get why he wears it. I love it.
Looking well shady.
I was loving it. A lot of younger people in the house have been evicted.
Yeah.
And a lot of the older housemates have stayed. Now, Again, I think for us, this is quite rare because it is a lot of the time, a lot of the older housemates seem to fall by the wayside and it's a lot of young ones left at the end. Does that surprise you?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it because we oldies get written off far too easily.
I'll make you right.
Hey, Bob! Bob will tell you. Bob will tell you. No, what's really interesting is that they've got life experience, so they bring a different dynamic to the house.
Let's have a little talk about the older generation because they've dealt with quite a lot of the dramas face to face. Let's have a little look at how Sally handled not letting the positive image task get in the way of her current drama with a certain fellow housemate.
We're all kind and loving to one another, aren't we, H? Cheers, darling, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Sometimes that love isn't obvious because it's so profound.
But is now.
And it's a different sort of love. Do you know what I mean?
OK. Hey, H, you're wonderful.
It's
Thank
built
you
on
so
mutual
much.
respect.
You're such a wonderful chef.
The wonder here is how generous you are.
I know.
And how giving you are.
I know.
Now, I find it quite interesting. Sally and Hardy, you know, they fall into that category of the older generation of housemates in there. Why are them two just not getting it?
They didn't like each other from the beginning because Hardy doesn't believe in the whole spirituality thing. What I love is, note to the Natalies in the world, you can deliver a barb in a much nicer way that goes much deeper, and that was a classic example.
You think it was?
Oh, come on. I mean, I love it. It's like through clenched teeth, isn't it?
Oh, I've got a lot of teeth to grit, let me tell you. While you're here, because I really want to talk to you about this, let's talk about the housemates one by one. Let's talk about Dan. How do you think Dan's been doing in the house since he's
Dan's just your all-round nice guy. He has sat on the fence a couple of times, but he's, you know, you can't take a dislike to him.
You can't take a dislike to
No,
him?
no, you can't.
What about Sally?
I actually like Sally, and I prefer Sally the person to Sally the medium.
You do?
She gets it right more often when she's just being Sally than she does when she's being a medium.
But she's got a gift, Trisha.
Her gift is warmth.
She is warm. What are we making of Sally we like?
Yeah.
Seem to like Sally in here.
Yeah.
Hardy has been the topic of conversation. Again, you've got to give him props. He's dealing with it quite well.
He's giving us entertainment. He is very shrewd. There's a lot of older people who agree with him out there, so don't write him off. But I love the faux, you know, like, oh, I don't know why I've been saved. Oh, yeah, you do.
Do you think he knows what he's doing?
Oh, come on, of course he does. He's a very bright guy. He does all that skewering sort of legal stuff. He's a very bright guy.
Let's talk about Gabby, because I feel we don't really have loads to say about Gabby when it comes to these type of chats, because she does seem to blend. She blends a little bit. But what are you making of her?
Natalie was her greatest gift, actually, because we saw more of Gabby when Natalie was there. She's kind of fallen through the cracks a little bit, I think.
Do you think she has? Do you think she can pull it back a bit?
I hope she does. I hope if she just crests on it, she's just, you know, a bit tepid.
What about Nick Leeson?
I like Nick, as I said before, which got us a few headlines, so I won't say the word pussies again.
No, don't say pussy! Stop it, Trisha!
No, but Nick's been in prison. He's done hard time. He doesn't have any problem with telling it like it is. He and Sally are very similar in that. They will just absolutely say it. I like Nick.
Kirstie Alley.
Kirsty's like the Queen. She's slightly removed. She never gets too involved. We've seen a few tears, and we saw a faux sort of snapping at Hardeep. But let me just say her belief system gives her tools to stay slightly aloof from everything else and engage when she needs to. She's sweet, but she's not giving too much away. Never does.
And finally, Ryan.
Ryan, now people forget. Ryan, initially, there were a lot of the housemates in nominations putting Ryan up. He wasn't a team player, he wasn't too friendly, etc. Roxanne was the best and the worst, or the worst and the best thing that happened to him, because he's come to the fore. Things have changed. I mean, he went through absolute hell. Let's not deny that. But before that, the housemates were a little bit, some of them were a little bit iffy about him. Now he's come to the fore. We see him in his stride. So I hope he stays nice. I hope he doesn't get too snarky. I didn't like what he did with Hardeep and Sally, because somebody in the audience absolutely said it. When you get to this age, bunions ain't no big deal. We do not give... Oh,
Trisha's brought up bunions now. I can't deal with it.
We don't care.
Oh, put your bunions away, girl. Come on. On that note, we love you. Give it up for Trisha Goddard, everyone. She's got bunions out, shoes off. You have that, girl. Right, that's what Trisha had to say. But if you want to have your say, get to bigbrother.channel5.com/polling and let me know which housemate you think has changed their public perception the most. All's going to be revealed on tomorrow night's show. That is all for now. We're going to be talking game plans. Plus, I'm going to be getting a letter from home. I hope I don't start tearing up because these letters get emotional. You're right, Hardeep?
Yeah, if you're going to cry, you need.
I'm going to take these. We'll see you after the break. Trisha's like, you can take that. You can have it. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. Now, it isn't just the housemates who get a letter from home. Big Brother bosses have promised me to give me the chance to win one too. Now, I've got 3 boxes here. I know, one of which contains a letter from home for me. Now, I'm going to let you guys decide what number to go for. What should I go for? 2. All right. OK, here we go. Yeah! My sun-kissed baby boy. I'm so proud of you and everything you've achieved. You're doing such a fantastic job, giving so much of yourself night after night. Oh, how the years have gone by from a little ginger boy who spent so much time alone in his room to a grown man now on stage surrounded by so many. All of your friends and family miss you in Essex, and Essex looks forward to welcoming you home in around 70 days' time when they finally release you from Elstree. All our love and kisses, Mummy Linda. The funny thing is, there was actually a letter in all of them. I just thought I'd put it out. Oh, leave it out! Right, we have got just under a week to go, and we are edging ever closer to the finale. Can you believe it? I know, it's actually happening. But who is going to be the last housemate standing in the battle to be crowned Celebrity Big Brother Champion 2018 and join the likes of some momentous winners along the way? What can I say? I've managed to get my grubby little hands on some of our celebs' top secret case files, and we're going to see who's acting out a game plan with military precision and who is just doing it their own way. So first up from our top secret case files to examine is Private Dan Osborne, and his rank is Peacekeeper. Now, Tommy, he hasn't had any nominations so far. How do you think he's doing? He's played the Peacekeeper quite well.
That's just Dan, to be fair, mate.
You think?
But what I know of him it is, to be fair. Do you want me to say something about him?
Well, yeah.
He's got a game. No,
I'm joking. I'm just saying, like, do you think that's genuinely what he's like? We've seen the real Dan.
To be fair, Dan's quite a quiet guy. And like, if you're in a situation just you and him, he has a good chat with you, so that's just how he is. He's quite quiet.
OK, well, let's move on to Private Sally Morgan. Her rank is Forward Planner, because she's got a gift. Sam, she predicts a lot of things in the house. Do you think her game plan could be to do with her abilities and maybe influencing people at some point?
No, I think she's just playing the mummy character. Everyone goes to her for, like, advice, and I just think she's just a lovely person, so if she can predict it, fair enough, but... No, I think she's just the mum in the house.
Do you think she's doing well in there?
I think she's doing great.
Do you think she's doing well?
I really like her.
All right, well, let's take a look at Private Ryan Thomas. His rank is the Joker. Now, Jermaine, you've lived with Ryan, and as Trisha just said, you know, in the first couple of weeks, he did receive a few nominations. Things seem to have slightly changed now. What do you think he's like to live with? Do you think there's any game plan on his part?
I think he has got a game plan.
You do?
Yeah, because he made that clear to us. Because we were saying, Ryan, you're not yourself. And he'll be going, oh, you'll see me when I get out. So he's got his game plan.
So do you think he's just trying to be a bit more reserved in there?
He's being reserved and he's acting up at the right times. When he feels the camera's going to be there, he will act up. When it's not, he'll have a little snooze.
Oh, this is a new angle.
Hey, hello.
Let's march on to Private Gabby Allen. Her rank is Sleeper Agent Spy. She's been one of the quieter housemates this series. Georgia, we don't seem to know too much about Gabby. I feel like we've not really got to know Gabby. Yeah. I mean, what are you making of her in there?
Well, obviously, I'll have a soft spot for Gabby. She came from the show I came from at the end of the day, and I feel that she's done really well. She's gone in there by herself. Obviously, she had a massive thing with Marcel before going in there, so I think it was a very brave thing for her to do, to be honest, and she seems to be getting on with everyone. You don't have to be the loud one.
You don't?
You don't always have to be loud like me. You don't. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to clap my hands and I'm going to shout if you want me to. Next up, let's move up to Private Nick Leeson. Now, his rank is veteran. What more could it be? He's advised a lot of people in that house, and he's also helped control Storm Natalie and spoke up for Ryan as well. George, do you think the others do look up to Nick in there?
Yeah, definitely, especially for about the Ryan stuff. I think he needed that. Ryan needs people around him that do stand up for him. Because I don't think at the time Ryan knew how to deal with certain situations.
And you think Nick helped him along
Yeah, and I
his
think
line?
Nick's he's a good person to be in there as well. And people respect him, and it shows that.
I've got literally about 30 seconds, but I want to get through these. Corporal Hardeep Singh Kohli, his rank is sniper. He's in charge of the officers' mess. He's been one of the most outspoken on the battlefront and in the house. He survived every eviction. What are we making of Hardeep?
I love Hardeep. I can't say how much I like him. He's brought so much to the show, and I think he's really intelligent. As much as people hate him, we watch him.
You're a fan of him. And finally, Kirstie Alley, her rank is Bombardier. What are we making of Kirstie Alley?
Yes, love her. She's doing so well. She's being herself. She's being lovely, and I'm a lover.
I can hear the music. The time is up. That is all we have got time for tonight. We'll be talking more about game plans and strategies tomorrow. That is your lot. A massive thank you to my panel, my fantastic audience, and really just to all the beautiful people of Boreham Wood just around us. We love you. I'm back tomorrow night at just after 11 with Showbiz stargazer Russell Grant, Bad Boys actor Richard Blackwood, and Liberty Xer Michelle Heaton. Until then, see you tomorrow. Night-night.